Let's look at the drive modes on this Canon 50D. Now, first of all, what do we mean by drive? It's really about the way you're taking your shots. So we're looking down here at this bottom corner of our display, and at the minute this is set with just one single box in there. That's just showing me that it'll take one picture and leave it at that. So if I press my shutter on the top, you'll hear that it will just take one shot. Now, if I change this, there's a button here called drive, and it's the second item on there, so it's going to be my second wheel, not this top one as the primary. So as I change this down here, we're going to, you see there's a H on there and it shows multiple images one behind the other. This is our high speed mode. Now if I do the same thing and press this button and hold it down, this will shoot, I believe it's 6.3 frames per second. And depending on the file size you're shooting at will determine how many you could actually shoot. For instance, as we're shooting RAWs at the minute, this is set up to RAW, we would get a lot less than if we've got small JPEGs. So keep that in consideration if you're doing a sports event and you want a racing car belting past you. It might be worth setting everything up manually first, so you don't particularly need the benefits of RAW to be able to change things around later. You could stick it onto JPEG and you could just keep that down and shoot away and get a real burst. So we've got other settings on here. Let me scroll that around another one. Now this is again different to the first one that would just do a single shot. The second one was our high speed one. Now this will do a continuous shooting, but it is at a slower speed. So you're not going to win any awards with that one. But it can be good if speed isn't the requirement, but just the function to keep it taking multiple shots. Now let's go again. This is a timer. By default, this will give you, let's have a look, I think it's 10 seconds. Yeah, it's counting down from 10 seconds here. You can see there's a light flashing at the front here. Gets down to 2, takes the shot. Now there is a second option on here. That obviously helps if you're trying to put this on a tripod and then get into the photo yourself, as I had to do at the weekend. If you just want to do it so that you're taking, sometimes you can use a timer on here, and the benefit really is that you're not knocking the camera at all when you're taking this image. So you can press this. Let's put it onto our second mode. So it's again a timer symbol with 2, and this is just going to be a 2-second. So it's not going to give you a chance to run around and get into the photo, but it does mean that the shutter will go without you pressing the button. So you're less likely to get any movement in your camera. Another way of doing this would be to use a shutter release on a cable and to take the photo that way. But for the majority of your use, you're just going to leave this set round here for a single shot. By all means, if you want to leave it set by default on a fast one, but don't be surprised. I mean, this isn't a bad idea if you're doing portraits and things of groups, because I've done this so many times when you got maybe 6 people in a photo and 5 of them are looking but one's blinking. Well, you can do this, take a few shots, no one's really moved. If you have to, as a last resort, you could copy and paste somebody's head from one photo into the other one, and we've had to do that before. It's not hard to do at all, but yeah, that's a good way of doing that. But I would suggest by default flicking the back wheel around onto here as a single shot is your best way to go.